some senses, that idea of, I think, uncertainty is kind of central because, I'm thinking if I go, or if the average person goes to a physician to talk about a health cure, they're going to be hit with statistics and odds ratios and this and that, and it's hard to think about. But experiencing something sensorially, the phenomenon becomes real to you. So in some sense, is it proof by experience? Is that sensorial element making you feel there's a causal agent acting on you?
Well, yeah, I mean, so something I found really striking with the Mentawi is that their explanatory framework for illness is very pluralistic. They can go to a sikere, a shaman, that won't work out. They'll try some herbs that won't work out. They'll go to a clinic that won't work. They'll try some over-the-counter drugs. So they're willing to try many interventions, and depending on what intervention ultimately works, that kind of informs the causal model that they came in with it. But shamanism, the shamanic intervention, like you're saying, what's I think so powerful is it is enacting a enacting engagement with ages. You go to the shaman, they are actually talking to the crocodile spirit that is inhabiting your house. They're tussling with it. They've summoned it. They put it into water. They're trying to keep it in there. They walk it out. They wash it out. That's very different. You go to someone who gives you some paracetamol. Just insofar as we're using experience as an indicator of actually fighting off sources of malevolence or the agents that are causing us harm. I think it's just much less, like you said, it provides much less proof through experience.
Manvir, from the way you're talking about shamans, it seems they have some things in common with stage magicians, or if we want to be more cynical about it, con men. And I'm not trying to be cynical, but in some ways it seems like the staging and the directing of attention really matters. And I'm sure there are plenty of people who would say that's basically all shamanism is. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
I mean, I think it's a really interesting question. And I will say that I think a lot of shamanism involves very explicit sleight of hand. So in many places, for instance, shamans will, while treating a patient, appear to extract some embodiment of the illness. Oh, your arm hurts. I'll suck on your arm and then I'll pull out a like whatever snake fang that some witch had shot in there, and that's what was causing your illness. So I do think there is explicit sleight of hand. One thing I've nevertheless found striking is that I think patients often understand that there is some sleight of hand there. And the shamans themselves will go to other shamans when they want their illnesses to be treated. And so I think just like a simple, they are con men, they are not con men, people believe them, they don't believe, doesn't actually capture the nuances of belief there, which are that I think there's a shared understanding that there's some performance here, but then there is also a shared sense that what we are enacting has some power.